This weekend, I had the opportunity to go to Woodcraft, my local Woodcraft, for Oktoberfest. I got to see Charlie, who's sort of like the resident pug that everybody loves and nobody owns. This was a great event. I pulled out my camera. I went around and talked to a lot of vendors to ask them, how did you get started with woodworking? And what advice could you give to newbies just starting out? So let's kick off this conversation with Renee, who is a 69-year-old retired woman who does woodworking. Look at what she had to offer. This is gorgeous. So do you make all of these?
I did. Yes.
Wow.
I started with, taking classes here, and they hired me to start working here.
Oh my gosh.
Doing retail, and I continued doing this stuff in my.
She
when
did
I got
it for
my
the
sheet
discounts.
shed.
She did it because, well, she loves us and we love her. So
Oh my gosh.
It's a mutual admiration.
These are beautiful.
I am 69 years old.
So
Wow.
she would be good for.
Can you be on my? Do you mind being on my channel? I'm just asking.
To primp. I gotta brush the stash. No problem. But she'd be great for women, who lose their husbands or are trying to reinvent themselves. And she has just gone from, like I said. When did you start? You were coming and taking a few classes.
When I retired. I was a teacher. I retired in 2017. That's when I started taking classes.
So she really has come to a point where she's, through sheer determination, gotten better and better and better to where her stuff is. We don't have to patronize her anymore. We're like, it's really nice, Renee.
Yeah. They come like, really nice. Did you know that you've got a crack right here? Did you know there's another crack right here? And they're not hanging over me when I go into the back and start using the power tools.
Like, oh my God.
So tell me. So I want to know, how long have you been using tools? Is this something that you've been doing your entire life?
Well, so my dad used to do all kinds of woodworking, so I'd watch him, but he never really let me do too much. So I just started kind of fiddling with stuff and fixing stuff on my own. And then when I retired, I said, I want to do woodworking. And, I started taking classes, and I took almost every class they had.
Now, were you taking classes here at Woodcraft?
Yep,
okay.
Yep. And I was always in here asking questions because I try a project that was beyond my means, but gave it a try.
Right.
And finally, I was in here so often. Amy, who's Chris's wife, said, would you like to work here retail? And I said, I don't know a lot. She goes, no, you'll learn. And so that was almost 3 years ago.
Wow.
So, now,
so you've been working here for 3 years, but how long has it been since you've really been doing these projects?
Probably 20. Oh, these things, they just like the last 3 or 4 years.
Okay.
Yeah. I used to refinish furniture and do all that.
Really? That's how I started. Yeah. That's how I started.
In fact, every time I go to a yard sale, I'm like,
So are you like me, where over time, I've learned my lesson, but I would just find things that I didn't have time to work on, but I would build it up in my garage and just stack it up. Because everything was everything had potential. It was hard to turn.
That's why I'm saying, I need to sell these things so I can bring more stuff in. And then I'm doing projects for my friends and relatives. So,
right.
Yeah. Anyway, I've just got
these are awesome. So out of all these amazing projects, which ones do you love the most?
Do I love the most? I love the table behind you. That's my crowning glory.
Oh wow.
That one. Yeah.
That's beautiful. So what are some
all of these. This one was kind of cool, trying to figure out how to make it look like the ocean.
Oh wow, that's gorgeous. Yeah. I love all of these stones and the shells.
This one takes a couple of pours because at one point I got a little too to the top and I messed up some of the blades. Chris goes, Renee, you need to be a little careful.
Oh my gosh.
But then the candles were pretty cool. Those were.
Ooh.
And then I was just playing with resin, trying to see what I could do.
Those are gorgeous.
Thank you.
So is there one tip that you could share with people that want to get started with woodworking?
I'd say come and take a class. You can watch it on YouTube, but it's so much better when you have an instructor to really teach you what you're doing. Because on YouTube it always looks so easy.
It does, doesn't it?
Then you have your epic fails. Yes. Oh my God.
Where can people Can people buy this online?
Yes.
Do you have a card?
I have a card.
I would love to share that.
I forgot to put the website on there, but if they call me, I can give them the website.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye. All right, my favorite tool brand, Festool. Hi, how are you?
Hey, good, how are you doing?
Good. I want you to tell me the new stuff that Festool has coming out, because I know there's new stuff, and I want to see what it is to see if I can, buy it. I started making the change with Festool probably about 2 years ago, and I'm so glad that I did. It's just a wonderful brand, and I love how clean it is with the dust extractors and how it all works together as a system.
And that's the biggest thing with Festool, because it is a system.
Yes.
So I'll just go over a few things. Everything that I have here is pretty much was just released.
Okay.
And that's why we're featuring it today.
Okay.
So we have the TSV 60, which basically is a score. It scores the material first.
Okay.
The veneer, and then comes back with the
for a
second
cleaner cut.
Exactly.
Nice.
So we have this new saw.
Okay.
We have 3 new drills.
Oh, great.
Okay. This is 18 volt. These two here are the 18 volt brushless.
Okay.
CXS and TXS. And we also have the 12 volt CXS 12 drill that's just released. It's a small compact drill.
I like that.
We also have the much weighted cordless table saw.
Wow.
It's cordless, battery operated.
Oh, cool.
And what's really nice is the feature, cross-cutting feature.
Oh.
So nice and smooth.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
It will cut up to 11 inches to the right here of the blade.
Okay, 11 inches to the right.
Yep. Up to about 17 inches cross-cut.
Okay.
Okay, for a lot. This will support your workpiece. You can actually take the saw and turn it. So this now acts as an outfield, outfeed table.
Wow.
All this is contained in this sustainer. So this sustainer will go on top of this saw.
What?
So
Oh my gosh.
right down like this. But what's really nice is when you turn the saw on, is your digital readout. Everything is electronically controlled.
Oh, that's awesome.
So let's take a look here. Let's do 1.25 inch height by 45-degree angle. You sit and hold this and watch the blade.
Oh my goodness. That's amazing.
Yeah.
It doesn't get any easier than that.
No. And it's preset. You can have up to 4 preset, or you can just dial
Wow.
yourself.
And what's the price point on this?
This whole kit is $1,999.
Okay. So even for
Comes
all
with
of
the
that,
table, the saw, the batteries.
I might have to invest in that. And I like that it's so compact.
Oh, it's
This
so
could
nice.
easily fit in my workshop.
You know what? Listen to this, though. Listen to the sound. Very quiet.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that is quiet. And then, of course, does it have a port for the dust collection?
It sure does. Right back here, that just plugs right into.
Wow. That's what I love most. You know, it's so funny because the other day on my YouTube channel, I don't know what I was posting about, but someone had said, oh, how do you, because I have a she shed, so it's a 16 by 26 shed. And someone said, well, how do you keep the dust off of like your computer and stuff? I'm like, I don't really have any dust. I use Festool when I cut, so it just sucks it all up. Any Festool gear for sure.
Little mini sustainer.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh my God, that's so cool. I feel like I want to wear it now. I'm gonna put it on now. All right, I got my Festool hat. I am ready. We're gonna go see some more vendors and find out what's here at Woodcraft for the Oktoberfest. Looks good, right? These are cute. Ooh, look at these puzzles.
Even the person who made it doesn't know how to put that one together. So.
I know, I was like, I'm not even going to attempt that. I know I'm not going to be able to get it.
Might be able to do some of it.
Oh, I like that. That's beautiful. Ooh, I like that. Oh, wow. Oh, that's cute.
What I'm doing now is sanding. There's not
You're
too
sanding.
much, it's not too exciting.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Are these tops?
These are spinning tops.
Oh, the spinning tops.
These are special ones for
Oh, wow.
Woodworkers Oktoberfest.
Oh, that's awesome. These are beautiful.
These are
I don't know. I think you guys are smart. You
bottle
can sit
openers.
down.
Oh, wow.
And these are wine bottle stoppers.
I love those. So my question is for somebody that has never gotten into lathe, using a lathe, what could you recommend in terms of like what kind of lathe they should get? Do they have to get a big one like this? Could they get a tabletop one? What advice would you give to someone who's just starting out, like me, who wants to do it, but
take classes.
Okay.
Take classes and figure out what you want to do, because the equipment is based on what you want to do and not necessarily on, you know, you can fit the lathe to your budget.
Okay.
Right? But you can also get one that's too small if you wanted to do larger pieces.
Right.
Or you could also get one that was too big.
Okay.
Too expensive and too unwieldy if all that you really wanted to do was pens and little things.
So if you're doing small things like pens, or maybe you're doing some bottle tops, decorative tops.
A small lathe or one smaller.
So this would be
perfectly fine. But if you go talk to Matt, you see his bowls that are 15, 16, 18 inches in diameter. You need a much bigger lathe there.
And would you recommend starting small? Like, let's say you want to do bowls. Is that too advanced for someone who's just starting out, or would you recommend going smaller to start?
So there's a middle ground. There's actually working on things that are appropriate. Just because you want to do large bowls doesn't mean you can't start with smaller bowls. Because the techniques are the same.
Right.
And it's easier to find a small piece of wood than it is to find a big piece of wood.
Right.
It's a lot less work.
Right.
You know, most of us that turn big cut our own blanks because nobody sells an 18-inch blank of wood.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
you know, it makes sense to start sort of in the middle of the road, and then if this is something that really you get the bug,
right,
then you would scale up to an appropriate machine.
Okay. And how long have you been using the lathe?
Honestly, 40 or 50 years, but really only about 20.
Wow.
Very strong.
I find it to be very therapeutic. So my son and I did the pen making class, and it was so much fun to like just be in my own little world and just spin this and just see, you know, like just see this block being whittled down to this thing that's now looking like a pen. You know, it's very therapeutic, and I think a lot of times with woodworking, with anything crafty that people do, I find it being like therapy, right? Because you can kind of go into your own little world and make this thing that started from like a block of wood to now it's this object that you can either sell or you can give it away as a gift. And so I'm always promoting, my channel is called Thrift Diving, so it's all about it's a little bit of woodworking, but it's about like DIY, home improvement. But the people that are interested in that, they're also interested in like woodworking and crafts and making things. So it's great to be here and actually talk to other creators. So thank you. All right. So where can people find you? Like you said, you sell these online? I
do. I have an Etsy shop. That's my QR code.
Okay. I'll have to see if I can get a. So you're UFO King.
I am.
What's your name?
William.
It's nice to meet you, William.
Our Shuckle Meal Pale Ale, it's 5.5%.
Oh.
I like to say it's like all the good qualities of a nice hoppy IPA without the strength and the bitterness.
Then I'll take that.
Alrighty. Like to drink.
People that don't like to drink, I don't understand that concept.
Some people get dragged in. I can't tell you the amount of people who get dragged in. They're like, I don't like beer, but I came here to hang out with my friend. And we're like, okay, we'll try some hop water. See what you think.
Have some green tea.
Right, exactly.
Okay, well, we're going to enjoy this today.
Tuesdays is trivia night.
These are pretty. Are these tree ornaments?
Yeah, they're hollow.
Okay. Those are beautiful. I don't know. How do you make those? Or is that your secret that you'll never tell?
No, I'm happy to tell anybody.
Well, first of all, do you mind if I record? I told Kristen I'm going to be recording for my YouTube channel, and I'm just kind of featuring some of the artists. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. What's your name?
Joe Barnard.
Joe Barnard. And what's the name of your shop? How can people find you online if they wanted to purchase some of these?
Look for my name.
How do you spell your last name?
Barnard.
Okay. All right. So can you tell me about these? These are gorgeous.
So, what you do, you've got a block of wood here. And you drill a hole, and I drill a hole all the way through because I'm going to put a finial on the top and on the bottom.
Okay.
So once I've got that hole drilled through, it's usually, you can see roughly how big it is. It's a little smaller than that. And I use a hollowing tool, and I hollow around where I drilled.
Okay.
And cut around the shape. Not nearly as good as if somebody was doing a hollow form.
Okay.
Because you're never going to open it up. So I don't care that it's rough on the inside. All I care about is that I've gotten rid of all this wood on the inside, which makes it light.
It's beautiful.
And then once that's done, well, so I take it back. I do the outside first.
Okay.
And get it to final, finish, ready condition. Without putting the finish on it yet, because it may break.
Okay.
I may cut through the side and ruin it.
Right.
And then I do the hollow the inside to the shape that I wanted, which is basically just to get rid of the bulk of the wood. And so then I make my finials in a different way. This one, I made a round piece. I did not hollow that piece.
Okay.
I don't have that kind of a small tool. But people do hollow things that small.
Wow. How long have you been making these?
5 or 6 years.
Okay. And are these some of your favorite things to make? What's your favorite thing to make?
Bowls.
Bowls?
All of us love to make bowls.
I was just talking to the gentleman over there that I would like to get a lathe. And I was asking him, like, what's a good first project to make? And he's like, it really just depends on what you want to make. Like, you can make a small bowl. You can start with small bowls and then go to big bowls, large bowls. But
I like to make boxes, too.
Those are fun. Yeah, I like boxes, too. I'm always looking for things to, like, stash in there. Oh, this one's beautiful. I like how it just sits in that little lip. So let me ask you a question. Is there a project that you've always wanted to make that you haven't made yet?
Yeah, I've always wished that I could make a big hollow form, but I don't have the lathe. I mean, I have the lathe that I could do that.
Yeah.
I don't have the equipment. It's expensive to do hollowing.
Yeah.
You have to have this whole setup, and it can cost you hundreds and hundreds of dollars. So I've never really pursued it just because it's too expensive and it's not something that, I don't know. But that's something that I would like to do that I haven't. That's about it.
Okay.
Anything else I've ever wanted to do, I just went ahead and did it.
Nice. Oh. Whoa. That is amazing. Wow. Can I ask you some questions for my YouTube channel? Absolutely. Awesome. So what is your name?
I'm Drew Buckingham.
What is it?
Drew Buckingham.
Drew Buckingham.
I run White Flint Creations.
What?
We're a local blacksmithing school.
Okay.
And we're working on opening a wood shop as well.
Wait, a blacksmithing school? So I could come and take classes?
Absolutely.
What? Okay, we need to do this. So, okay, so tell me about the classes.
Okay, so we have a series of 5 fundamentals blacksmithing classes.
Okay.
They start at something typically like a bookmark.
Okay.
And then we progress from the bookmarks. The next class we do a coat hook.
Nice.
that, we do a leaf.
Okay.
This is where it starts getting really challenging.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to start building skills quite fast.
Okay.
And it's work.
It looks like work.
And it's one of those things that a lot of people come into because they've watched Forged in Fire,
yes.
and they say, "Oh, I can do it." Like reality TV is a bit different.
So, what's the hardest thing then about forging metal?
Honestly, the hardest
Steel.
thing is dealing with the heat and the exhaustion. It's just having enough energy to keep going. The forge itself is over 2,000 degrees.
Oh my gosh!
And it puts off a good bit of radiant heat as well. So just standing there next to it, you're getting hot and sweaty.
You're getting hot and sweaty.
And then you have to swing a hammer.
Ooh.
And it's not a carpenter's hammer, it's a blacksmith's hammer. So
right,
so
it's very
at least
heavy.
2 pounds. And,
yeah.
You know, it's up there. So it takes a lot of strength over the course of time. But it doesn't. You don't have to be a strong person. It's more of an endurance technique. Mm-hmm. So after the leaf, we go and do a barbecue fork.
Oh wow. Okay.
Right, and then the last one that we do is a bottle punch hole.
Okay. So this is something that can be very expensive because, like, if you wanted, like, once you take these classes, let's say then you want to get your own equipment to do it at home. How does somebody even get in?
So it's
started?
quite pricey to get into it.
Yeah.
What's more interesting is, so we're actually working on kind of a makerspace model.
Okay.
So you could end up coming back for more classes or coming back to do your own projects
okay.
in our shop.
Okay. So you could forge your own weapon.
Yep. And I have guys that come in every week that forge every Saturday night or something like that.
Wow. So how does or I should say, how long have you been doing this?
I've been doing it about 6 or 7 years now.
Okay. How did you get an interest in forging?
A friend of mine did some as a hobby, and I used to teach rock climbing, and I knew him through that. And I said, hey, I want to try it sometime. It sounds fun. Yeah. And by the second time, I went home and built a forge because I was hooked.
Wow. Wow. And then now you have all of this.
Yeah, now I'm a nationally certified instructor.
Wow. So what's your favorite thing to forge? Is it here? Like, do you have something here that you could show me that's
all right? So it kind of falls in a couple of categories because a lot of people, you know, they ask about knives, and everybody loves knives and they're beautiful and stuff. They're fun to a point, but I don't enjoy them as much as some of the other things that I do. I really enjoy doing hatchets and axes. And recently I've been working on a pretty big project. These are pieces from it. This is a set of fireplace tongs. Okay. And I've been doing stuff with multi-bar construction. So like this center bar here with the handle is actually 6 different pieces that are forged together. That's got to be pretty difficult to forge them all together like that. Yeah, it's not an easy technique, but it's something that is quite traditional and very essential to the craft.
Gosh. So if somebody is wanting to get started in this, aside from taking classes, what other advice would you give someone that wants to get started in forging or didn't even know that forging?
So I think that there's kind of falls in 2 things. And number 1 is research. Learn. If you're not going to take a class, study, and don't just like, oh, I watched a YouTube post, because a YouTube video only gets you so far. Right. And really, you need to look into the details because there's so much technical information to absorb. Right. That the second part of this is practice, practice, practice. It is thousands of hours of practice to build a skill like this.
Yeah, because I imagine you're going to make a lot of mistakes. In doing something like this.
Leaves. People in my classes frequently ask me how many leaves I've made. I'm guessing somewhere in the neighborhood of 500. Wow. And most of them I threw away.
It took a lot of throwaways to get to finally the one where you're like, oh, this is how you do it. Wow. So you know the technique, so then when it gets to the point in class when people are making leaves, you know how to instruct them like, hey, you're going to want to do this, but this is how you do it.
Right. And like I said, my background's education, so I taught rock climbing for about a decade, and then I went and taught physics and engineering for 8 years at the high school level. Taught CNC manufacturing and production, and then decided to move to something I could be more artistic.
I love it.
They're only 4 pieces. And they're much thinner. So they flex.
Wow. So that's so much more comfortable in your back.
Yes, it is.
So you're not just leaned up against hard wood.
Yep.
Wow, look at that. That's beautiful. Hey! How are you, Roman?
Good. How are you?
Good. I didn't know that this was happening today until Chris messaged me like, was it like last week? And he's like, hey, we have the Oktoberfest.
A couple of weeks ago, when they were putting out the advertisement for this, I was thinking I gotta share that and send it to you.
Yes, because I never think about it, and then he messages me, and I'm like, I need to do that. Is that what you did on your X tool?
Yep.
Ooh! Oh, look at that! Wow, done on the X tool. All right, so tell me your name.
Roman Steichen.
And your company is 3rd Gen Pen Shop. Okay, so how long have you been making pens? And when did you get interested in like woodworking? How long have you been using a lathe? And why pens? Versus, because these other guys like bowls.
Right.
So what is it about pens that you like so much?
I've been a woodworker basically for my entire life. My dad taught me. He taught me how to use a lathe, and I love turning things on the lathe. But I didn't do too much of it. My daughter wanted to make something for my dad, and she wanted to use a lathe to do it. So I taught her how to make pens. Hadn't made a pen yet. I taught her how to do it on the lathe. She loved it. Gave it to my dad. My dad loved it. He started making pens. So my daughter making pens, my dad making pens, and I'm using a store-bought pen. So I decided it was time to turn my own pen. So it was 2014 when I did that. So this is my daughter. And then my dad, so she's 1st gen. My dad is 2nd gen.
And you're 3rd gen. Ah, so that's how you get 3rd gen. Okay. So I noticed that you do a lot of resin pens. Do you prefer resin over wood, or do you mainly do resin over wood? And what is it about the resin that you like so much?
I love the color of resin, and I love making my own blanks, mixing my own colors.
Okay.
When I started making pens, I'd make a pen and show it to somebody, and they'd say, "Oh, wow, this is gorgeous." And I'd say, "Well, thanks. I made it round." That's all I did. I made it round.
Yeah.
So now, when I make my own blanks, mix my own resin, I have a little more pride in what it is because I mix the colors.
Right.
So I enjoy working with wood. I'm learning how to do bowls.
Do you like doing the bowls?
I do like making bowls. Yes. I will always be making pens.
It's like your flagship. It's your flagship product.
Yeah.
Okay. So if somebody were interested in getting started with using a lathe and making their own pens, what advice would you give them as a starter, as a beginner? Aside from taking your class. Because I did take your class.
Yes. But really, I would say if you can watch a video on how to do it and you think you can go do it right after doing that, great. If the video gets you intrigued about it, but you're not really sure, then take a class, because in the class you'll be taught a lot of the intricacies about it, what to watch out for.
And is there a particular, because I have not gotten a lathe yet, is there a particular lathe, I don't know if a brand or a size that you would recommend? Because I still want to get one. I just haven't, I'm still trying to get my shed together, so I don't even know where I would put it. So I'm still working on the shed versus like working on fun little projects. So what would be the recommended
The lathe that you get is going to be based on the budget that you have.
Okay.
And I would say figure out what you want to eventually do on that lathe and go a size larger.
Okay.
Because if you really enjoy working on the lathe, it's not going to take you long to say, I need that next size.
Right.
But if you know, until then, go someplace like Woodcraft and take a class. Go someplace that has machines available and try them out. I can't specify a specific brand. I can say I do like Jet, but other than that, I can't say one or the other because I don't have experience on every type of lathe. So to make your own blank, it's a long process.
Yeah.
With the resin that I use, once you mix it together, you have to put it in a pressure pot so that the pressure can crush the air that's in the resin.
Ah, okay.
So that you don't end up with air bubbles in there.
Yeah.
So you got to let that cook for a while.
Okay. I feel like these are so pretty that I don't know if I'd ever want to sell these. Like
that's and I have to almost make a pen with the intent of selling it. So the resin is like epoxy.
Yes.
You have a part A and a part B.
Right. I know I've done some epoxy.
You mix those together.
Right.
Now you can add liquid dye, or you can add powdered pigments.
Okay.
This was done with the powdered pigments.
Okay. And is there any like favorite of yours? Like, what's your favorite? I mean, I know all of them are beautiful. Oh wow.
That is
so pretty.
That is bamboo with resin added.
That is pretty creative.
I filled the bamboo with blue resin.
Wow.
And then I cut the bamboo at an angle and put it in a mold and cast purple resin around it. These are walnut husks.
Oh my gosh. That is... I mean...
So I really enjoy mixing...
Yeah, this is like super creative. I mean, it's there's two things going on here. There's like experimenting with the different resins and the different colors, and then there's like the actual pen make. Like you literally could just say, okay, well, I'm just going to make the pens and just focus on the pens, but you're focusing on the actual artistic value of what that's going to look like outside of just the shape. I love that. Hi, Charlie. Hi, Charlie. Charlie's so cute. Charlie's like, I want some food. He's like, can I have some?
I was looking for you.
Yeah.
You can let him out for your YouTube channel.
Oh, believe me, I'm recording some footage of him. Look at him. He's like, I want some food. Why are you not giving me food? I'm gonna wait for you to feed me.
Have a piece of chicken. There's a story? Yeah, he turned it down.
He did hesitate though. He hesitated for a moment.
He had to pretend like he wasn't super interested in it.
Yeah, he did hesitate for a moment, didn't he? I know, right? Feed him some lettuce. Charlie, you're just a little bit too filled out. Chunky is the word, yes. Look at his face. Look at his face. Charlie? Charlie. So this event was a lot of fun. If you want to meet Charlie, you got to go to the Woodcraft in Rockville. I love these guys. Tell them that Serena from Thrift Diving sent you, and they know who I am. They know that I'm a friend of the place, and you will be a friend of them too. All right, be sure to come back, and down below, check out all of the vendors that I featured in this video. I will see you next video.